KT7 up here. Today, I will review and showcase 140 Edward Elric from the Fullmetal Alchemist collaboration. We will first look at his kit in detail, my top choices for equipments and DCs, then some sample team builds, and lastly a couple matches to close out the video. I will review all FMA units. Alphonse review will be up in a couple days. Roy and Bradley to follow. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see how they perform in auto PvP settings. Edward is the free to get unit from this collaboration, but we will need to spend Visi ore to build him. He is a 90 cost win physical strike damage dealer. He is one of the highest damage output unit in the game, mainly because of his damage type being strike. He has sure hits and pierce damage in his main kit. Very good agility and decent HP. His main role is DPS. He can take a couple hits, but don't count on him to stay alive for the full fight. Edward has very good resistances against slash and pierce at 25. Neutral to strike, 5% to missile and -5 against magic. These are very good starting points to build on. For his status ailment resistances, he has 50% to immobilized, 50% to disable and 10% to berserk. Overall not bad. I usually have charm and stop resist on his trust stones. Even though he is a 50 faith unit, I want to minimize the chance of getting those status elements. For equipments, he can equip fist, hats and cloths. Next let's take a look at his LB and TMR. His TMR is a cloth. 388 HP, 4 defense, 10 spirit, 8 accuracy and 2 agility. Having 2 agility on a cloth is good. Very useful for agility tuning. The ability is a self-buff that grants HP regen and increased single target resist of 25 for 3 turns. His LB is a single target strike attack, lower target's defense significantly for 3 turns, then deal large damage. This LB is so powerful, often hit the damage cap. For his Transcendence upgrades, it gives him AoE resist of 10, slash and pierce resists also up 10. For the Job 25 skill upgrade, it will increase the damage modifier by 60% if the target has AP regen active. His 140 gives him more survivability and some additional damage. Not bad. Let's move on to his passives and master ability. For his main job passives, he gets 12% max HP up, slash resist and pierce resist up 12. His second passive gives him 12% agility up and move up 1. I run these two mostly, having move 4 can help him get in range faster, since most of his attacks are shorter range. His master ability, typical HP 10% and wind attack up 15 for the party. And for self, attack up 25%. His counter ability is a sure hit, range 3, strike damage. There is no reason to build any accuracy on this unit. This counter can come in clutch against evasion units. Let's take a look at his main job buffs. He has 2 buffs in his main job. The first one is an AoE buff. For 3 turns increases 25 AoE resistance for allies, and increased slash and pierce resist of 25 for self. This is his top priority buff if allies are in range. He will circle around and apply this to everyone on the team. His second buff is a self buff. For 3 turns, grants him protect and AP restore small. Also add a dispel effect on all his attacks if the attack lands. This will apply to his sure hit counter as well. Now let's look at his attack moves. His first move is a pierce attack. A straight line AoE up to 3 range, deals large damage. Next is a single target move, select up to 2 units in range. Increase Edward's defense penetration by 30 for 3 turns, then deal medium damage and sure hit. These select multiple targets attacks are great, they cover a very large area on the map. Now his low AP move. Range 1, single target, lower target strike resist by 25%, then deals damage small. for his level 25 move. It is a diamond shape AoE, up to range 5. Breaks physical barriers, medium damage, and with his 140 upgrades, it will also increase the damage modifier by 60% if targets have AP regen active. This will deal huge damage to unit like Sephiroth if you can catch him while his Dark Wall is active. Next, let's take a look at what his sub-jobs offer. From Spell Blade, he gets Earth Spirit's Blessings passive. Increase his magic resist and earth resist by 12%. This can cover his magic weakness. The two noteworthy abilities in Spell Blade are Resist Magic and Magic Barrier. Resist Magic is especially useful when running a full strike team. I have this on to protect Alphonse and Perrine from magic. In the Strider sub, for passive he gets Call of the Wild, it gives Edward 10 accuracy and 40 defense penetration. I run this instead of the +1 move passive when the map is shorter and I want to keep him behind the tank. He gets Twisting Shield Breaker that can remove courage and break barrier. When I run Strider sub, I usually have Constricting Cleave turned off, the range is too long and it can mess up my buffing order. Next up are equipments, espers, and vision cards. These are what I like to run on Edward. I have him equip his watch at all times for some more slash and pierce resistances. For his weapon, I like the Cat Claw because I typically run attack type Trust Stones on him. It gives him some more agility. For the TMR slot, I like to give him haste or something that has high agility. He is unlikely to get a third buff off, but it is nice if he does. I have seen builds with weapon in the TMR slot. In that setup he would equip Black Garb and his watch in the other 2 slots. This will give him more defense penetration and better at dealing with tanks. Not a bad choice. For Trust Stones, I prefer HP and attack sets for maximum bulk and damage output. Agility set is mainly for turn order tuning. For espers, Dark Bahamut and Dark Tetra are my top choices. Both can increase his damage output. Be mindful of his teammates' accuracy. Both Dark Tetra and regular Odin have high accuracy, you might want to have someone else equip them. Edward does not need accuracy whatsoever. As for the VCs, for strike teams, it is very straightforward. These are the only 6. Strike team with Edward is very powerful, most new units have decent to good strike resist, but a full strike team is still very difficult to take down. Play around with the VCs to work out your buffing order. In a win setup, these 3 are stables. For the sub slots, equip VCs that can help defend against the current meta. These are some sample teams with Edward. I think Edward is at his best in a full strike team. He is a heck of a damage dealer, but can be taken down quite easily. Be sure to tune his agility and movement, so he is not too far up alone. I already have a strike team explain video up, I will put a link at the corner. In a full win setup, he pairs really well with all of them. He has Pierce attack to go with Glaciella, slash and strike attacks to go with Resoul. Wind already has some of the best units. If your Wind team is already stacked, you might want to consider slow build him. He does not bring anything new to the table or take the team to another tier. He is just a very good DPS. Let's go to the vision card that will release alongside him. The Bond of Brotherhood. It supports Lance users, Fist users, and Staff Devout. This is the most important strike team card. For the party, it gives 18% agility and 16 single target resist. Beautiful, these are the best buffs a vision card can offer. It also has 35 strike attack up. Be sure to pick it up if you want to run a full strike team. It will also be very good for Earth in the future. For the bestowed ability, it gives slash and pierce resist of 10. These also work very well with Edward, one of the best VCs. Alright, to end the video, let's see Edward in action. First up, a full strike team. This is taken from Quick Pick match couple days ago, against a light team. I have Edward running Spell Blade, this is the resist magic buff. This is a popular light team. Engelbert is still such a great tank and he does have decent strike resist. Re-raise and courage, I am not afraid. Strike should have no problem dealing with it. Edward's multi-target single attack. Look at that damage. They should be running Smite the Dark VC, giving them 20 strike resist. Every unit on my team has sure hits. Evasion is nothing against strike. Wingstern's LB gives him haste, he can deal a lot of damage after using it. Edward finishing them off after they took down his brother, very fitting. For the second and last match. This is a match I lost to Edward. A practice match with my Earth team. They are running June, Resol, and Edward all at 140. A very popular win team. This team can do some serious damage. This is Edward's main job buff, AoE resist up for the group. And Slash and Pierce resists up for himself. Resol is such a hard counter for Masheri, having re-raise removal for 3 turns. Let me know in the comment what you think about her and who are you pulling for in the FMA collab. The 140 upgrade to Jum gave her 10 single target resist and elemental chain damage reduction. Her MA2 gave her 20% more attack and 40 slash penetration when Protective Shell is active. She packs a punch now. My Dialdo has Strike Resist Trust Stone and Survival Vest +6 on him. Taking Edward's LB like a champ. My team isn't doing any damage to them. One shots Masheri. So much for Resol's re-raise removal. These multi-target single attack moves are so good. Edward is out of AP. His AP management isn't that good if he doesn't get his AP regen buff off. Play around with his buffs on off to fit your team. Hit the damage cap to finish off Bradley. Edward is a great DPS and a great free unit. Build him, but if you are not planning to run a full strike team, build him slowly. There are still a few great units and VCs coming in the next few weeks. Spend your Visior wisely. That's the review of Edward. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to see rest of the FMA units in action. Have a good one.